These are my realistic tips for you to have a successful no-buy. One of the most impactful ways to reduce your consumption and become a more responsible shopper is to try a no-buy. I've worked in the fashion industry my entire career, and it kind of led me at some points into a deep rabbit hole of non-stop shopping because I was just constantly exposed to clothes. And what really helped me change these habits was just doing a couple of no-buys. Now, what exactly is a no-buy? A no-buy is a period of time where you buy nothing except the necessities with the purpose of not only saving money, but to help yourself develop a healthier relationship with shopping and spending money. So all of my no-buys have been either weeks or months. Some people like to do no-buy years, sometimes 2 years, sometimes more than that. However, if you are new to a no-buy, I recommend you start small. No-buys sometimes don't work because a lot of people treat them like a crash diet. Again, remember that the point of doing a no-buy is to help give you better tools to understand how to be a more responsible shopper. So when I make the comparison to a crash diet, I genuinely mean that. It's a short period of time where you drastically cut back on something in order to achieve a desired result. But I want you to view your no-buy as a stepping stone to a lifestyle change instead of just a one and done. So I'm going to be giving you tips on how to have the best no-buy possible and also how to learn more about yourself and your shopping habits. So let's get into it. So my first tip is to set your rules. Before any type of no-buy, you want to have a reality check with yourself about what your rules are going to be. Now, this is where I recommend you do your best to be as realistic as possible, especially if this is your first no-buy. So when creating your rules, I want you to consider everything in your life that is a necessity. Everything that is already a planned expense. Things like your rent, your car payment, your phone bill, groceries, things that you absolutely need to pay for every week or every month, however long you are deciding to do your no-buy. You also want to consider replacement items. Are you running low on laundry detergent? Are you running low on toothpaste? These are things that you also want to consider. We want to try to be as specific as possible for the best results. Now, I'm just naming stuff here, but it's a good idea to take some inventory of those things that you use frequently in your house just to make sure that you will or will not need a replacement in your no-buy period. Now, of course, you want to write these rules down somewhere. Grab a piece of paper, grab a notebook, grab a Post-it note, just write them down. And you not only want to write down what you're going to be spending money on, but you also want to write down what you are not going to be spending money on. Things like clothes, candles, books, Amazon orders, dining out, takeout. I'm just naming stuff here. It is completely up to you and what you spend money on. This is also probably a good idea to look at your bank account and just see, what am I spending the most on every month, and writing it down. Now, this is where a no-buy can turn a little bit into a crash diet situation, so I do want you to be gentle with yourself. If you find that you're spending a lot on coffee every month and you're also spending a lot on takeout, keep the coffee on your planned expense list or add a 2 times takeout limit for the month. You don't have to go cold turkey. We want to make sure we're being realistic, so make sure that you are planning your expenses appropriately and realistically. My next tip is to unsubscribe from all promotional emails, as well as mute any social media accounts that you follow. So this next step is all about preventative maintenance. This is about making sure that you're not actively exposing yourself to the temptations of buying something new. So I recommend you go to your email, you unsubscribe to any brands that are in your inbox over the past few days that are trying to get you to buy something, or if there's a certain brand that is popping up like 24/7 that you're like, I really want to go shopping, or whatever the case may be, unsubscribe. Trust me, it's gonna do wonders. We all need less emails anyways, so this is just a good cleanse in general. And I also recommend muting any brand social media accounts, influencer social media accounts, or if you want to take it a step further, unfollow them. And instead of just leaving your social media feeds super dry, I recommend looking at some other influencers to help fill those spaces that talk a little bit more about intentional shopping and just people who are going to better align with your no buys. So my next tip is to fill the gap when you're feeling vulnerable. No buys can be quite challenging sometimes, so it's really important to find something that will fill that gap when you're feeling a little bit vulnerable during the time of your no buy. This is probably my favorite part of no buy months. I do months, whatever you're doing. This is my favorite part because I like to find ways and I like to find things to do that are going to continuously better my future self. So there's things obviously like pick up a book, go take a walk and listen to a podcast. These are obviously super simple, but also really effective because they're giving your brain that dopamine it needs without actually spending money. So some other examples that you could do in order to fill that gap would be to clean out your underwear and sock drawer, reorganize your bookshelf, do your nails, call a friend you haven't talked to in a while. And my personal favorite is to sit down and write a gratitude list of everything that I am appreciative and grateful for in that moment. My next tip is to keep a reflections list. So when something comes into your head and you immediately have that thought of, oh my God, I need that and I need it like right now, I want you to write it down. Now, as I'm doing this and as I'm actually writing it down, I imagine the thought leaving my head, landing on the paper, and basically not being allowed to enter my brain again. I want you to do this throughout your no buy, whether it's a week or a month or however long you're doing it for. And then I want you to reflect on those items at the end of the period. Oftentimes, a lot of the things that you've written down are kind of like, why did I need that? Why did I want that? I obviously lived without it, so I think that I'm good. At least this is the case for me. It's a really great exercise on practicing waiting, practicing patience, and to also have a reality check with yourself on truly what's a necessity and what is not. Now, my last and most important tip on this list is to be kind to yourself. It takes a lot of work to break habits, relearn new ones, and basically to rewire your brain. It's just a lot. So I want you to first give yourself props for even taking the no buy journey in the first place. I also want you to know that if you go through your no buy and it just did not work for you for whatever reason, that is perfectly okay. Everybody has different approaches to bettering their shopping habits, and sometimes it just doesn't work for some people. It's all good. So if you come to find that it doesn't work for you, I do highly encourage that you reflect on the process and pick out the little pieces that did work for you. Maybe it's setting the rules. Maybe it's finding another hobby when you do feel those compulsions to buy something. Because even if it doesn't work for you as a whole, I'm sure you'd be able to find some type of benefit of the no buy process and apply that to your life moving forward. However you feel about your no buy, whether you're in the beginning, middle, or end, I want you to remember that it's about progress. It's not about perfection. And honestly, the fact that you're watching this video just proves that you're on the right track. So give yourself a pat on the back. I also have quite a few videos that I'll link in the description box down below on how to shop intentionally, how to stop wasting your money on clothes you never wear, things like that. So if you do feel like you need a different approach than a no buy, definitely check those out for some different mindset strategies. All right, you guys, that is the end of the video. Leave a comment down below where you are in your no buy journey. Are you just starting out? Are you just like doing the research? Are you maybe in the middle of a no buy? Let me know. I would love to hear about it. As always, thank you so much for watching. I am so appreciative of your support, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.